My father and my stepmother traded me for a condo. 12 years later, they found out my price. I built this empire out of the scraps they left behind. The view from my office overlooks the entire Seattle skyline, and sometimes I just sit here and watch the rain hit the glass. It is a far cry from the back of a 1994 Honda Civic, which is where I spent my 19th birthday. My name is Caleb. I design high-end, sustainable microhomes. People pay me hundreds of thousands of dollars to make small spaces feel like palaces. Ironic, right? Since for 2 years, my small space was a sleeping bag and a gym locker. 12 years ago, my father and my stepmother, Diane, sat me down in our living room. I remember the smell of Diane's expensive vanilla candles. My father didn't even look at me. He just adjusted his tie and said, "Caleb, we've decided to downsize. The new condo only has 2 bedrooms, and Diane's son needs the extra space for his studies." I was 18. I had $42 in my bank account. I asked, "Where am I supposed to go?" Diane sipped her wine and gave me this thin smile. "You're a man now, Caleb. You'll figure it out. It'll build, character." They moved that weekend. They didn't even leave a forwarding address. Just a box of my old clothes on the porch and a good luck card with no money inside. Not 1 cent. The first year was brutal. I worked 3 jobs. I washed dishes until my hands bled. I hauled concrete in the July heat. I slept in my car, parked in the back of a 24-hour Walmart lot, praying the security guards wouldn't knock on the window. But I had one thing. I was smart. I started taking night classes for architectural drafting. I spent my lunch breaks at the public library studying building codes and structural engineering. I didn't have a safety net, so I had to build a floor from scratch. Fast forward 10 years. My firm, Foundations, is the top-rated design house in the Pacific Northwest. I have 30 employees. I have a beautiful home on the Sound, and I have silence. I hadn't heard a single word from my father in over a decade, until last Tuesday. I was at my firm's 10th anniversary gala. I was wearing a $3,000 suit, holding a glass of scotch, and talking to the mayor. And then I saw them. They were standing by the buffet table, looking gray. My father's suit was 2 sizes too big. Diane's jewelry looked like costume pieces. They looked like ghosts who had wandered into the wrong haunt. I felt a chill go down my spine, but I didn't move. I waited. My father approached me with this shaky, hesitant grin. "Caleb, son, look at you. You're living large." I looked him dead in the eye. I didn't offer my hand. I just said, "It's been 12 years, Julian. What do you want?" Diane chimed in, her voice all sugary and fake. "Caleb, honey, we were so proud when we saw you in the business journal. We always knew you'd make it. That character building, it really worked, didn't it?" I almost laughed, the sheer audacity. "I didn't make it because of you," I said, my voice like ice. "I made it because I had no other choice. Because you left me at the starting line with no shoes." My father leaned in, lowering his voice. "Look, Caleb, things have been tough. The investments Diane's son made, they didn't pan out. We lost the condo. We're staying at a motel in Renton. It's beneath us, son." And there it was, the ask. "We were thinking," Diane said, touching my arm. I flinched away. "You have that beautiful guest house on your property. It's just sitting there. We're family, and family takes care of each other, right?" I felt this heat rising in my chest. Not anger, just a deep, profound clarity. "Family?" I asked. "You mean the people who left an 18-year-old to sleep in a Honda Civic? Those people?" "We were broke, Caleb," my father hissed. "We did what we had to do." "No," I replied. "You weren't broke. You were selfish. You traded your son for a 2-bedroom condo and a quiet life. And now that the condo is gone, you want to trade back?" "No," I called over my head of security, a man named Marcus. He's 6'4" and doesn't smile. "Marcus," I said, never taking my eyes off my father. "These people are leaving. Please escort them to the door. And if they ever show up at my office or my home again, call the police and file for trespassing." "Caleb, you can't do this," Diane shrieked. "We're your parents." "No," I said, as Marcus took them by the elbows. "You're just people I used to know. People who taught me exactly who I never want to be." I watched them being led out into the rainy Seattle night. My heart was pounding, but for the first time in 12 years, I felt light. I walked back to the bar. I ordered another drink. And then I called the woman who actually helped me. My old landlady, Mrs. Gable. She had let me rent a room for next to nothing when I was 20. "Hey, Mrs. Gable," I said when she answered. "I'm sending a car to pick you up. I want you at the head table. We're celebrating tonight." Because blood might be thicker than water, but loyalty is what builds the house. I sat back, watched the rain, and for the first time, I didn't feel the cold at all.